Demis Hassabis did an interview with Axios. He doesn't do much publicity. Demis Hassabis, for those who don't know, is the head of Google DeepMind. DeepMind was a research company acquired by Google in 2014. Demis Hassabis runs DeepMind, so he's co-founder. He is one of the most rational voices in artificial intelligence. He's the head of their main Google lab, pushing AI research. But unlike Sam Altman, Demis does not hype things up. He's a scientist first. He does not need to go out and raise money. He has almost infinite budget from Google to basically do what he wants. So he's in a really enviable position where they can just get on with doing the science. So when he talks about artificial general intelligence or the future of AI, he's worth listening to because he's not trying to sell anything. There's a documentary which came out last year, but it's now free as of last week, called The Thinking Game, and it's available on DeepMind's YouTube channel, or you can just Google The Thinking Game, and it's about Demis Hassabis. And you'll see very quickly, this is not a money-motivated man. When he was 16, 17, he was working at Bullfrog Games. It was Peter Molyneux's video game company. He was working on a game called Theme Park, if any of you knows it. Fantastic game. I grew up with it. He was offered £1 million back in the 90s to not go into Cambridge, but to stay and work at Bullfrog. £1 million, no. And he went to Cambridge. He did not come from money, so that was an incredible amount to turn down. In this Axios interview, he's talking about the future of AI and what we can expect in the near term and on our pathway to AGI. So he's saying 2026 is going to be about modalities, pulling modalities together. Right now we have large language models, image models, and we have video models. He's saying in 2026 it's about bringing it together, which in this case means Gemini and Veo. So Veo is Google's video model, and Nano Banana obviously is their image model. Bringing them all together and having not just being able to generate, but understanding between them. We're seeing that in Nano Banana Pro. When you generate with Google's image model, it first uses Gemini to think about and reason through what you want to generate. And that's why it's good at infographics. So you can say, do an infographic about the water cycle. Nano Banana Pro will go to Gemini and say, hey, we're designing an infographic about the water cycle. What would that look like? Gemini will design that in text, return that to Nano Banana, and then Nano Banana will generate. We're going to have more of that. That's a very basic example. He is saying that is the future. We're going to overlay world models, give our large language models, our multimodal models, image, video, audio, text. We're going to give them worlds to live in. People are talking about like Yann LeCun, who recently left Meta. He was their chief AI scientist. He's left to go and start his own world model studio, and also people like Fei-Fei with her Marble model. This is building a simulated world, putting the artificial intelligence in it and allowing the AI to learn as a child would learn by interacting with, making mistakes, playing around with this world, this representation of reality, which allows us to do what has not really been available to us up until now. AIs have been very much inside a box. They're not connected to the world. They don't have senses. They're locked off. Whereas if we give them a simulated world to train in, that makes them more useful in the real world as well. So he's talking about all of this. And he also thinks AGI, he doesn't give precise timelines because he's not stupid, but he talks about AGI being much, much closer than we think. He doesn't give actual dates, but it sounds like in the next couple of years rather than decades. It's well worth watching. It's about 30 minutes long. He's one of the most sensible minds in artificial intelligence. Make sure you watch this documentary. Even if it sounds boring, a documentary about AI sounds dull, right? It is not. It's a very compelling, well-done documentary. So I've been banging on about it to everybody. Oh yeah, he also won a Nobel Prize. I forgot about that, as you do. So check out both, and I'll put the links in the newsletter. What do you think of an AI-driven consumer market research as a service to CPG and e-commerce brands? Found a way to use AI to measure whether people will pay and how much for any product idea. If it works, it sounds fantastic. It sounds really useful. So a big problem, I work with lots of people who start in their first business, and the huge problem people have, and this is why I created this course here, the Niche Navigator, is people don't think about what the market is. So a lot of people, especially with their first business, will create a product or an idea that they think is fantastic, and they don't actually go out and check with the market whether or not the market wants it. If there was a tool that could take my 10, my 100 ideas, filter it down, and even if it broke it down and said, these are probably going to be the top earners, these are going to be the middle earners and bottom earners, even a rough filtering tool would be useful because it would guide which markets I should start to talk to people in. I don't think AI can replace talking to potential customers. That's still super important. However, if AI can help hone us in on which customers we should talk to and which idea we should go with, that is extremely valuable. Many people have business ideas and they don't know which to go with, and they get paralyzed, entirely paralyzed, and they do not start anything. So having a tool that gives them some measure of whether people will pay and how much would be a killer tool, but you would be doing it as a service for CPG. And yeah, if it works, if the data is good, that would be valuable.